Hey guys, so it's your girl Liv. Welcome back to this reading. It's been a while since I've done any pick a card readings about you, about just what makes you great. Let's do something light, let's do something fun in honor of the full moon in Aquarius. I wanted to do it different this time for this moon. If you are part of my moon group, go to the link in my bio. You can sign up, it's completely free, and I will have like a prequel to this reading, but this is going to be for everyone because Aquarius full moon is a different type of energy. Anytime we're dealing with Aquarius, Aquarius rules the 11th house in astrology. The 11th house is very close to the cycle of reincarnation because there's only 12 signs. So when you get to 11, you're really seasoned. This is going to be about the things that you're good at. It's the things that you're seasoned at. Aquarius is a very unique energy. They're very comfortable in their authentic expression. So what's been kind of coming up for me in my life and in my readings with a lot of you guys has been like authentic choices, authentic stances. Like, what do you believe? Why do you believe? So I decided to keep this moon open for everyone, this pick a card reading, because I felt like this is what we need right now. And so the moon group, y'all will get, you know, the extra part that you guys typically get. But this is going to be kind of like a pick a card reading for how do you authentically show up right now. Also, Aquarius is an air sign, and so it is the water bearer, not a water sign, y'all. Okay, if I hear that one more time, I'm like, I'm not doing my job if y'all think Aquarius is a water sign. Aquarius has, basically, Aquarius holds space for people to share their emotions. Aquarius rules the friendship, it rules social media, it rules networking, it rules a lot of different things, communication. But the one thing that I really admire about Aquarian energy is the fact that Aquarius, in order to hold space for a lot of people, in order to run a major company, or even be a mother, like, or, you know, a caretaker or anything like that, you have to be able to have a healthy sense of emotional detachment. Because if you get swept up in everyone else's issues, if you get swept up so easily by the water, it's hard to have that big, huge platform, that big impact. And Aquarius is all about having a big impact. So this is going to be like, what is your impact? What makes you unique? So I'm going to put the pick a card choices up, and let's hop in. Hey guys, so this is group one. If you chose this, this is group one. What makes you unique? What makes you shine? What is that Aquarius? Hey guys, this is for group one. If you chose this, this is going to be the full moon energy of basically what makes you unique. How can you channel this energy? How can you channel your authentic expression? As I was getting into this reading, there's a lot of Leo energy that's under the surface. You could be dealing with the Leo, or you could have Leo in your placements. If not, I would check out your fifth house. Any planets in the fifth house, or what sign rules your fifth house. Because the interesting thing is, this is like an Aquarius energy, and the opposite sign, or the twin of Aquarius, is Leo. We have Leo with the strength card. And so this is a major arcana. It's like underneath the current, there's a really, really strong individual. Like if you chose this, like your strength may be silent. Your strength is, it could come through your emotional decisions. If you chose group one, it could be a type of thing where it's like maybe you don't look as strong as you are, or people used to perceive you at some point in your life as not as strong as you know yourself to be. And it's interesting because what's coming up is heavy Libra energy, and you guys came out as the judge. And there's some scales on this card. And the thing that I was really picking up is like the spirit of, like, you know, people like back in the day, if anybody who like grew up in a religious background, like I grew up in a religious background, at church they would be like, I got the spirit of discernment. Okay, it's like that energy. It's almost like what makes you so unique, group one, is the ability to be strong. It's almost like, it's, I wouldn't quite say it's underdog energy, but for some of you that's just a small message. For a few of you, it's more of your demeanor, your nature. Some of you guys can even be drawn to nature, but if you chose group one, it's like you guys, what makes you so unique is your strength. That is like your strength and your ability to discern. So it's almost like Libra rules balance. Libra rules beauty and harmony, and it's almost like you're so in tune with your own, you could be an empath, but you're so in tune with how you feel that if something's off and something's just not quite right, your ability to walk away from it is your strength. Because we have the 8 of Cups here. And I love how this is depicted here because some of the bowls are sinking, and this bowl right here, or this cup, is on fire. There's like, and whenever I see like that energy, it's almost like when you let something go. Like a lot of my clients and stuff, we do rituals where we'll write down things and then we'll rip it up and burn it and we'll put it in like a bowl. This is that type of energy. And then we also have the Ten of Wands. And this is someone packing their bags. Like this is someone who's like, I done been through the mountain. Like she's already down from the mountain. And she's like, I'm not going through this again. Like group one, even if you don't feel as strong, like you could be really young or you could have been like not feeling this, what I'm really feeling led to tell you is that you're stronger than you think. And the interesting thing is that the judge, when you think about a judge energy, this Libra energy, a judge is able to make really good calculated decisions. And so if you haven't gotten to that point on your journey yet, and it's definitely like you guys can feel like, man, my life has definitely been a journey where there's been lots of twists and turns, or there's been lots of difficult emotional decisions you had to make, whether that's career-wise, where you live, who you associate with, and it could feel like there's a lot of loneliness. But the interesting thing is that Libra energy rules harmony and friendships. So part of your unique path is the ability to draw in authentic people, draw in authentic experiences. And what I'm seeing is like, if this hasn't already resonated for you yet or happened for you yet, you guys have the Queen of Wands, okay? So like if you chose this, what also makes you unique is that it could be something about your look or how you wear your hair. Like this is a very, very sexy group. This is the type of group that you could also be into the occult or into manifestation, law of attraction, crystals. You could have lots of animals. Like in this card, she's got a cat, and there's all these like little tea light candles here. But the thing I love about the Queen of Wands is that, to me, she's a sexy queen, but she's like the witchiest queen of the deck. She's very, very intentional. She's very, very in tune with how she feels. And I feel like you guys are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. And I think that sometimes it could have been situations where people in the past or people currently might have judged you by your appearance, could have judged you by how you appear. And what I'm seeing here is that it's almost as if everyone doesn't deserve to see every side of you, especially because of this, I say every side of you. You see how she's half woman and half lion? And you don't have to be a woman for this to resonate, but it's almost like, I feel like part of your journey and what makes you unique is like the courage that it takes to make a lot of the decisions that you had to make in your life. Like for your advice, for your oracle card, you guys got Inner Earth. And this says you'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. So for some of you guys, this card is looking like an oasis. And on this card, she looks like she's manifesting something. She looks like she has magic in her hands. And then we have the Judge. So for some of you guys, it could have been something was removed, because whenever I think about Judge energy, I think about like a verdict or something happened or an ending, or it's almost like there's a lot of endings energy. And it could feel like, man, it's like one journey after the next journey. When am I finally gonna feel settled? And I'm feeling like root chakra is coming up. So if you guys resonated with group one, I would definitely do some root chakra work. And it's almost like this energy of like emotional security. What will help you sustain your authenticity is being comfortable in your emotional decisions, because you guys are being led on the right path. Because if you can see this on the Eight of Cups, she's heading towards the sun, and the sun in tarot represents Leo energy again, but it represents like our inner child, romance. It represents fun and games, and it's like the fun house. It's like, it's almost like maybe you've done so much like seriousness, or you've had to deal with so many like major decisions that you probably wouldn't describe your whole life's experience as like a fun life. But I feel like that's what's coming in, because with this Inner Earth card, it's like an oasis. It's like when you get to where you're meant to go, and I'm not seeing this be like at the end of your life or anything like that. I'm just seeing like when you end up where you're meant to be, I'm feeling like it could be, it's almost like your life is meant to feel like an oasis. And it's like surrounded, like maybe you could move somewhere where it's really unique, or you've been wanting to travel somewhere that's very unique. And I'm just picking up on that for some of you, but it's almost like if you only knew group one, what you were capable of manifesting. You guys have very, very strong manifestational energy. I will be very careful with what you are watching. I will be very careful about what you are speaking, because with this Judge energy and this Queen of Wands, it's almost like you literally are meant to create your own reality. So what makes you so unique is that you are literally a master manifester. And I'm just seeing like this oasis, this timeline of oasis. It just keeps coming up in my mind, like green grass. And like the thing that I love is that anything that you have walked away from, I feel like encouraged to tell you that you were heading towards this oasis. So it's kind of like in this card, she looks like she's walking away from a desert. In this card, she's looking like she's walking through a swamp. And it's almost like with this card, it's like there's an oasis waiting for you, group one. So it's almost like what makes you so unique for you guys who chose this is that like you guys are an excellent judge of character. And it's like maybe some of you are like, well, why did I attract it in the first place? But it's making you sharper, and it's actually like your GPS system. So it's like cling on to that, hold on to that, because it's a superpower, guys. Like you guys are you guys are my physically attractive group, and you're so unique. So like how you wear your hair and how you dress and all those things probably lure a lot of people in. So be more discerning with why are people drawn to you, because Libra energy is Venus, so it's very beautiful, it's very attractive, whether you're masculine or feminine. So this is like the divine wants you to be really discerning on who you allow in your space, because why are they coming? Are they coming because they see that you can manifest all these things? Are they coming because they think you're so attractive and so unique and dope? Are they what reasons are the people coming? And it's like I'm feeling like that's getting sharper for you. And I feel like just hang in there. If you're feeling like, oh gosh, like one decision after the next thing, it's like for you guys, it probably has felt like a long road or several mini roads, but it's like it's all leading to an oasis. I just feel led to tell you that. And that's going to be different for each person. But it's like you're meant to live in an environment that feels like an oasis. You're meant to live in an emotional environment around the certain people that make you feel that way as well. So it's like be gentle with yourself. And if you're walking away from things, just know that it's actually leading somewhere amazing. Okay, group one. And so if you haven't done that work, I would suggest writing down how you want to feel for this moon. Really getting into like what are the emotions about. Like some of you guys, it could be a literal environment. For some of you guys, it's like finding your authentic, feeling okay with making your decisions without hurting people's feelings. It's like, I don't care if it hurts your feelings, I'm just being honest. And it's not being rude, it's okay to say that. Like sometimes you just gotta let somebody know that I'm just being honest. And you can be tactful, but it's almost like this is actually gonna benefit you. So group one, this was your reading. I'm really excited for you guys because I really feel like you guys are so intentional, and you need to know that you're actually going somewhere and you're growing somewhere, and like this oasis is here for you. So if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, all my information is below. If you'd like to support me, you can buy me a coffee, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, this is group 2. This is the full moon in Aquarius. This is going to be a reading on how to channel that unique energy. And it's going to come out different for everyone, because Aquarius is one of those readings that sometimes it's like, Aquarius sometimes for some readers can be challenging to read for, because Aquarius is like unconventional. I feel the need to say that. Now, the energies that I'm seeing right here is I am picking up on Aquarius energy, water sign. So if you're a Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, this could resonate. Also, we do have a little bit of earth here, but the strongest energy that's coming up right now is Virgo. And it's almost like this group here could have been heavily affected by 2020 and like the whole pandemic. There could have been some things that really surfaced, like some old patterns that came up during this last, how long has it been now, y'all? But it's almost like there's an energy of a little bit of self-sabotage in this group. And what I'm feeling is it might feel challenging to feel like you are unique. If you chose group 2, it might be like, well, what makes me so unique? Or like, it's almost like there's a bursting of energy inside group 2 that is like wanting to come out. It's like, bring it forth. Group 2, I'm just feeling like bring it forth, because you guys got the Hermit card. And if you look really closely, there's like this light that's burning, that's coming out. And it's almost like this person is hiding it away. It's like you're in the house, maybe you're outgrowing your space, or there's something about needing to get outside and get some fresh air. It could have been things that came up for you while you're at home, or just kind of feeling like isolated. Doesn't mean that you don't live with people, doesn't mean you don't have relationships, but this is the type of energy that it's almost like maybe in the past, I'm picking up that some of you guys could have talked yourself out of like, you know how like you'd be like, oh, someone would be like, oh, you look so good, or oh, you're so talented, like you have so much potential, and you're like, well, you know, and you may not say it to the person, but it's almost like you deflect it, or you like, it's like there's if you chose group 2, there are things about you, there are gifts inside you that are not being expressed, and it's like it's like so strong, it's like it's wanting to burst out. There is something for group 2 that's being hidden. I don't know what it is, but it's like there's something that's being heavily suppressed right now. And especially because you guys got 2 cards for the archetype that flew out, and you got the Saboteur, and you see how he's poking the hot air balloon. So this could be like self-sabotage, but what I'm picking up is because that same fabric on this hot air balloon is like on his garment. And so it's almost like, if you've ever felt that feeling of like, that what you want or the things and the desires of your heart are so far from you, or like you got the short end of the stick, or like, why is everyone always coming against me? Or it's almost like this energy of feeling like maybe in the past you've had to deal with some defensive energies, or you had to deal with sickness, or you've had to deal with some struggles. Some of you guys could have gotten COVID or could have been dealing, it's like a lot of like money hardship and sickness. It doesn't have to be your whole life, but it's like this reading is about what makes you unique. And what I'm seeing is there's a lot of hidden energy. There's a lot of unexpressed things that it's like if you would just almost like pop that bubble. Instead of using this pen to pop your dreams in a sense of self-sabotage, it's like almost like use those things that maybe could have broken you to actually channel that energy and express it. And it's interesting because we have the 5 of Pentacles. Now, the 5 of Pentacles for me is like my sickness card, or my feeling like there's no chances. And oftentimes that's what it feels like. It feels like there's no opportunities, or it just feels heavy and it feels lonely. You see how they're in this fetal position here? And then the Hermit's in the same fetal position here, guys. It's almost like this could have been something that it's almost like, you know, when you're a child and you have those dreams and hopes and aspirations and creativity, and it's like friends, and it's almost like you could have grown up where there was moments of isolation as a child, and that those things have caused you to change your belief system about what's possible. And what I'm picking up here is like, the thing I love about this deck is there's a key. If you look really closely, there's a key in the corner. Let me do it like this. There we go. There's a key in the corner, and there's 5 pentacles up on the door. But this person doesn't believe it's possible, so their head is down. It's like group 2, something about your creativity is linked to your environment, or to your prosperity and to your abundance. And for some of you, your abundance is just being in a community. Some of you guys, because Aquarius does rule community, some of you guys could have sisters, you could have siblings, especially with the 3 of Cups here. This is like sisterhood and like, or brotherhood, take it how it resonates, but it's definitely like tribe energy, like if they're friends that feel like family, or family that feel like friends. Like, oh, well, we don't just hang out because we're related, we hang out because we get along, like because we're friends, or, you know, we're more than friends, we're family. It's like you guys have so much to share, and you guys have so much influence. And I feel like you guys have had a lot of tough lessons if you chose group 2. You might have had a lot of tough lessons that have emotionally shut you down from expressing certain things. Like, this is heavy on the sacral chakra and the solar plexus. And I'd even say the heart chakra, but it's like I always say this, when you're a kid, you just want to play outside. You don't even care what you play with. Like, I've seen babies play with remote controls, and they're just like, and it's like, you think about a baby, like, give them something to play with, give them something to bite on, give them something to do. And it's like, then, you know, it's like, oh, I want to go outside. And then it turns into like, you know, when you're in like teenagers, it's kind of like, it turns into more of like, oh, I want to look good, or there's this person at school that's super cute, I have a crush. And then it kind of turns into like a sexual energy. And then that same energy from the sacral kind of matures into more of like, I want money. So, and sometimes we forget about that the pure essence of that desire is just that childhood. I want to play, I want to express, there's a lot of artistic energy in this group. And it doesn't mean you like to paint, but it's like, it's almost like there's an emperor in you, group 2. There is an emperor wanting to bust out. There is some masculine energy it's weird because it's like you think about creativity, that you're like, oh, creativity is something that's easily expressed through feminine energy, but for you guys it's really coming up as emperor. There's an emperor locked in a house. It's almost like there is something in you that needs to burst through, and it might come through. It's almost like if you're gonna be in solitude, or if you are in this place where you're not expressing, it's like channel that energy into meditation, or into watching movies and cartoons, or because you see how this card is also isolated, but this is the advice with the Seven of Wands. Now these wands here represent like conflict and argumentative energy and like stress of the everyday life, and I always look at the Seven of Wands as like the absence of peace. That's how I interpret the Seven of Wands. But look how she's doing a meditation right here. She's going like this, and her solar plexus is lit up. It's almost like group 2. I really feel like you guys can transmute this energy. I feel like there's it's like for you guys, and for some of you, this is how it's almost like it's resonating in a way where it's like some of you guys, what makes you so unique is going to be your ability to overcome the obstacles that you've had to face since your childhood. And there's a lot of isolation. So it's almost like the Emperor is Aries in tarot, and it's number 1. So it's like number 1. You're number 1 in your life, right? And so maybe you've done a lot of things by yourself, or maybe you've had some issues with friendships, or you've had like issues with manifesting a community. But what I'm sensing and picking up here is that like you guys are entering into a new phase, and it's almost like the Emperor has to run the kingdom by the Emperor self. But it's almost like change. It's almost like I'm feeling what makes you guys unique is the ability to change your story, to change your narrative. Like it's not like, oh no, like I wasn't isolated, I just needed that time to heal. It's almost like that energy. This group is really interesting. I'm curious to see how this resonates with you, because it's almost like this is a crystal ball right here that she's sitting in. And whenever I think of crystal ball, I feel like this is like looking into the future. And what's coming up is like you guys got Earth School. So it could feel like this also because you have the Seven of Wands. 7 is all about wisdom, and it's about learning, and it's all about mastery and spirituality and like overcoming a lot of obstacles. So this could feel really heavy for you guys. It's almost like maybe you don't feel like it could, how do I even say this? There's been a lot of soul growth in this group, and maybe you've had to spend a lot of time alone. And it's like, I feel like what I'm feeling like what's happening is a lot of you guys are waking up. A lot of you guys are outgrowing versions of yourself. So what makes you unique is like, you're not the same person, the same sad child. And it's like, as soon as you realize that, some of you might already know, but some of you guys are going to pick up that key, and it's like actually going to affect your finances. It's going to affect your self-confidence. It's going to affect your literal world. It's going to affect how you live, how you dress, even how some of you guys, how you stand, your posture. Especially because you see how she's leaping down here. I'm definitely like, I don't know how you guys resonate, but like if you do resonate with past lives, I feel like you guys have been here a few times, and it seems like there's been a lot of themes and lessons around isolation, and it's almost like taking the word isolation and turning it into empowerment and becoming the Emperor. It's almost like, well, if nobody's gonna come with me, I'm gonna do it my damn self. It's almost like for some of you, you might already be there. You're like, yeah, I've outgrown this, I've outgrown that, and I'm the Emperor of my life, and I'm channeling this, and I'm feeling like it's almost like this is a very, very deep group. There's a need to look at the light within and what you've overcome on your own, to be proud of yourself. If you feel like some of you guys might feel like you're continuously alone. And it's like, okay, what can you master from that? That's what makes you unique. That's what's going to affect your finances. That's what's going to make you grow. And for some of you guys, you're like, I've already mastered that. And I'm seeing you coming, kind of bringing in a community, because the Emperor is a leader. I'm seeing you guys drawing more of a community. But it's almost like some of you guys, it's like this peacefulness that you're drawing in. It's like your ability to be peaceful in the midst of lack, in the midst of sickness, in the midst of isolation. It's almost like, because what I feel like is like you guys are mastering some major karmic lessons, like some major karmic lessons around themes of feeling like you had to do it yourself, or you're always alone. And it's not true. You have divine support. And it's like you guys chose you guys chose to come into this reality, this time-space reality, to master this, to be able to do it alone. So maybe your parents didn't help you, maybe your friends didn't help you. And for some of you guys, I'm seeing, if you haven't already manifested, you're going to attract like sisterhood, brotherhood, people who are going to like really be there for you, people who are going to support you. But it's almost like you had to build your own empire first. You had to overcome isolation first. You had to go through those things. So I know this was kind of a weird reading, group 2, but it's like what makes you unique is that you were able to create your own empire out of nothing. You were able to become strong and outgrow obstacles after feeling like you were by yourself. And now it's almost like you rely on yourself, you love yourself, your self-love game is strong, and your solar plexus is like super healed and calm. Whew. And definitely, if you resonate with past lives or Akashic records work, I would definitely look into that, to kind of look into your past and see some of those soul lessons that you've overcome. But there's definitely themes around isolation. It's almost like you had to do it yourself to get to the community, to build the community. And that is going to come in for you, and you're not going to be alone. But it's like you had to master that. So if you haven't mastered that, I think that's where a lot of the heavy energy came from. It's for those in this group who chose that, who are still struggling. But you're going to get there, group 2. I'm so happy for you. It's like if you don't feel like you fit in or you never fit in, it's because you were supposed to create your own shit. You were supposed to create your own community. So I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much light, group 2. If you'd like to support me, you can buy me a coffee, you can book a reading. All the information is either down below or the link in the bio. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Time for group 3. We finally made it. Okay, so group 3, y'all are abreast. You guys are a breath of fresh air if you chose group 3. I'm like, the other readings were a little heavy, and I feel like you guys have gotten to this place, like you guys might be the Aquariuses of the group. There's definitely a lot of water energy too, so you could be a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, and there's also heavy on the Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy, heavy on the Leo. But Leo and Aquarius are opposite signs, so Aquarius is very unique in ideas. You know, it's the 11th house, and Leo is the 5th house energy. It's a lot of dealing with children, it's dealing with fun and games, and it's dealing with entertainment, and it's dealing with like performing and politics, all these different things. But we're not going to get into the houses today. But what I'm feeling is, it's like you guys were showing up as the orphan. Now, the orphan for some people can feel really sad. If you look, he's like sitting up here almost daydreaming on like Pluto. Like, so for some of you guys, Pluto could be like, you might want to check out your Pluto placement and kind of like dive into that. But Pluto is like that death and transformation. It's ruled by Scorpio. Some of you guys could have Scorpio. But it's like when we're dealing with Pluto, we're dealing with destruction of an old self. And so that's why I feel like you guys are a breath of fresh air, because it's like you guys have grown through so much. Like you guys are not afraid to be like, man, it's almost like you don't look like what you've been through. Like you guys are that group. Like, yeah, you're like, yeah, I have a violin and I'm not gonna cry about it though, because this is it, and I walk away from those demons in the past. Group 1 got this. So if you chose this, you might have chosen group 1. You might want to check that reading out, but it's fine. But with the 8 of Cups, like this is also my Scorpio card. It's like the 8 of Cups is a decision, an emotional decision to walk away from something that you once loved, to emotionally detach yourself, which is what Aquarius can do very easily. Emotionally detach from the sob story. And it's kind of coming off like that. I don't know if you guys are like Scorpio or you have like those type of placements, like a lot of fire, but it's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, let's get to it. Like some of you guys, what makes you unique is your ability to build an empire, because you got the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is like this heavy Leo energy, but the King of Wands is sexy, so y'all sexy. And group 1 got, so if you were thinking about choosing group 1, go look. But it's like you guys are not only very physically attractive, it's like you guys are very powerful. So I would be very surprised if you don't own your own business, or you're not trying to go into business, or you're not like the manager or at a high level position. It's like you guys are very, very unique. To me, the King of Wands is like he knows his power. Now, doesn't mean you have to be a man. This is just masculine energy. It's like that, like I think it was group 2 got the Emperor type energy, but you guys, it's like, you guys, what makes you unique is that you took life on and you became all that you can be. And if you're not at that point yet where you feel like you're always doing what you can, it's not about like a destination. I don't want to get it confused with that. But like you guys are the type of people that can take almost like your astrology. Some of you guys could be into astrology, but you take like the lemons and you make lemonade, but it's almost like cosmic. You took like okay, maybe it's like, oh, I was short and I couldn't play sports, but I did this and I became like a referee. It's like that type of energy. It's like, well, this didn't happen, so I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take that. It's like, you guys, that's your strength. So this reading can always come off as like, oh, this is what I need to tap into, or this could be like, yep, that's me. But it's like, what I'm seeing is you're a great leader. You are, because it's almost like the orphan talks about being alone, being ostracized, but this orphan is like, man, like it's like the energy of like, my parents were fighting in the next room, but I was coloring, and because they fought all the time, it's what made me go outside, or it's what made me. It's like, you guys know how to take. It's like optimism, Sagittarius. Like, you could want to travel a lot. Maybe it's also a little Pisces energy that's coming in. You could travel in your thoughts, or you could travel like daydream, and like maybe some of you guys are manifesting different realities by just like doing breath work or just visualization and things like that. But what's coming in for you guys, you got the 10 of Cups. So some of you guys, you could have your own family. But it's interesting that you guys, when I was shuffling, the 10 of Cups was like right underneath the King of Wands. And I was like, okay, let me just let it come out on its own. Shuffled it, and it came out on its own. So you have the orphan, and then you have the ultimate family card. And the 10 of Cups to me is the ultimate family card. This is like generational. This is the ultimate happiness. They're sitting on a hammock. There's children, but the thing I love is that there's all these cups, because cups talk about having so much to give. It's not just, oh, we make a lot of money and we have kids. It's like, my life does not look like how I came into this world. I created my own blueprint. That's what y'all are. Group 3, you are very unique because you do not look like the struggles of your past. Like, everyone's dealt a hand, and you're not the type of people that's going to be sitting here complaining about what you didn't have. Now, maybe that could have been in your past, but it was more of, what I'm picking up, it was more of maybe discussing things that you had to walk away from. Maybe you had to start over. But what I'm seeing is, it's like, you guys are super manifestors. Like, you guys have, it's like your life, there's two types of people. There's people whose life is on default. It's like, well, that's life. And there's people whose life that they created, and you guys are the creators. So it's like, if you're in that place, it's like you have the orphan, then you have the ultimate family card. So it's like, for some of you guys, what makes you unique, and if you haven't got there yet on your journey, like, what makes you unique is like, you're going to be an amazing father. For some of you, you need to hear that. Like, you're an amazing father. And for some of you guys, it could be like, part of your story is attracting an amazing father, like someone like in a family dynamic, and take it how it resonates. So like, for you, if it's a wife, it's that type of energy, because at the bottom of the deck we have the wife, and she's pregnant. The Empress, she's pregnant, but she's pregnant, look at that, she's pregnant with a world, like a new world. Then you have all the stuff about Pluto and galaxies here, and then on your advice card you have this like cosmic energy, and it says, breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. And you see how these intentions are going up into the moon? It's like, you guys are very connected to like a lot of starseed energy, which means you guys are connected to other dimensions. You guys are connected to like ancestors and angels and archangels. Like, you guys have a lot of like spiritual support. Like, you may not even be like resonating with that. Like, oh, I don't do any like altars, or I don't pray. It's not even that. It's like, you guys, what makes you unique is that you do have that. You have so much support. And what I'm seeing is, it's like, what makes you unique is your family dynamic. That it's like, you created a dynamic that you didn't come from. And if you are not in that place yet, that's what you're going to attract. It's like the children that you birth, the children that you have, the spouse that you get with. It's like you're going to create like a new, I want to see what y'all gonna create, so I'm gonna pull another card, but you guys are gonna create something extremely special together. It could even be like a child you have, or if you don't resonate with the children thing, just take it how it resonates. But it's almost like, and it's like, say for example, if you don't want a family, what I'm seeing is that you're far from the experiences you were born into. Like, you took this life and you mastered it. Like, you guys wielded it to your will, and you got the 8 of Wands. So sometimes the divine is not super specific about what's going to come in. It's just like kind of a surprise. But with the 8 of Wands, it's like a very quick energy. So it's almost like, it's a Sagittarius in my mind. But how I look at this, it's almost like, but it's interesting because this Eight of Wands, all the fires are going together to make a bigger one. So it's like a big impact, the energy of a huge impact. And it's like what you created. It's almost like the legacy that you leave forth. So for you, if you're like not creating a family, you're creating a business, the legacy that you create is going to outlive you. It's some big energy, guys. The legacy that you leave behind, group 3, will outlive you. So even if that's to children, passing the baton, because I'm seeing these like lots of batons, like passing the baton. There is a royalty and regalness about group 3. There is, some of you guys could be really drawn to music as well. Like you could be clairaudient. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like the sound bowl and like meditations, guided meditations. Some of you guys need to look up your top 3 signs and kind of work with your trine and just work with that energy. A little hack that I do is I take my sun sign, I look at what house it's in, or what ruler of the house it is. So my sun sign, for example, is Taurus. That rules the 2nd house. So I look at that, and then I add up all my houses and I do the numerology. But that's just for some of you guys who are extra like me, who like to do rituals. But I'm just seeing, guys, is that it's a beautiful story. It's almost like rags to riches or orphan to fatherhood, or like it's very much giving me like Sterling Brown from This Is Us. It's like a beautiful legacy, like a beautiful story of feeling like abandoned, but you guys aren't in that energy. So it's like bask in it. For you guys, it's just gratitude, because it's like you guys are just allowing and welcoming in more things to be grateful for, because you guys are so grateful and so deserving. And it's like what you say goes, what you speak goes. Be mindful of what you speak. Speak it, say it, be grateful. Congratulations, group 3, because y'all, the things that you want are coming into fruition. So group 3, this was very powerful and very inspiring. I'm sending you love and light. If you'd like to support me, you can buy a girl a coffee. That really does help me. Also, you can book a personal reading. And if not, I'll see you guys in the next video.